a wealthy family spanning 3 generations, owning vast lands and enjoying a life of abundance with children and grandchildren gathered under one roof. But within just a few short years, everything suddenly vanished. The money was gone, the elders fell ill, and the younger generations scattered far and wide. There was no war, no natural disaster. So, what mysterious force brought the entire family line to collapse so quickly? According to ancient wisdom passed down through generations, it is believed in Feng Shui that a person's fate, and even the destiny of an entire family, does not simply drift randomly. Every rise and fall follows invisible, yet incredibly powerful rules of energy flow. That is why some people, as they grow older, seem to become more and more blessed. Their faces grow brighter, their wealth increases, and their children remain loving and devoted. On the other hand, there are those of the same age who suffer through illness, loneliness, and financial hardship. The reason behind it all often lies within the flow of energy that shapes their lives. In this video, we are going to uncover 3 timeless Feng Shui secrets, core principles that have the power to completely change a person's life. These insights are not just small tips or tricks. They are deep-rooted laws that have been refined and proven through countless generations. When understood and applied, they can help transform your later years into a time of peace, abundance, and fulfillment, rather than hardship and struggle. But before we dive into those 3 powerful secrets, take a moment to plant a seed of positive energy for yourself. Leave a comment with an affirmation such as, "My family is receiving peace and prosperity." In doing so, you are already setting in motion a wave of good fortune and creating a strong foundation for a joyful, abundant old age. And do not forget to subscribe to the channel so you will not miss our upcoming videos, where we will continue revealing more Feng Shui secrets to help your family thrive for years to come. Before we get into the specific Feng Shui secrets, it is important to understand the 7-year cycle of fortune and hardship, a quiet yet incredibly powerful law that shapes the highs and lows of every stage in life. There is a strange pattern that not many people notice. In East Asian history, some family lines remained wealthy for 3 generations, but by the 4th, they suddenly declined. Their lands were lost, and the descendants drifted apart. People searched for the cause, but the strange thing was, there was no war, no major crisis. It all started with small changes in the way the family lived and how they preserved their flow of energy. Ancient Feng Shui masters discovered a pattern. Human beings live in cycles of energy that change every 7 years, known as the 7-year energy cycle. According to this belief, every 7 years, the energy flow within your body and your destiny shifts. As one cycle ends, old matters must be closed, negative energy must be released, and new energy should be welcomed. If you recognize the timing and act accordingly, your energy will open up, bringing better health, wealth, and relationships. But if you ignore the shift and let negative energy build up, then the moment the new cycle begins, misfortune can hit hard. There are stories of people who, at age 49, were still struggling with worries and poverty, but by age 56, their lives took a complete turn. Their careers flourished, their children succeeded, and their health stabilized. That was not just luck. It was a sign that, knowingly or not, they had managed to release bad energy and retain good fortune right at the turning point. To recognize when you are entering a new 7-year cycle, the ancients paid close attention to life changes. There are 3 clear signs that often appear. First, you may feel that things no longer work the way they used to. Your usual plans become harder to succeed, but at the same time, unexpected opportunities begin to show up, leading you down a different path. That is a sign the old energy flow is closing and a new cycle is starting. Second, major changes often happen within the family. Someone might get married, a baby is born, someone changes jobs, or moves into a new house. These events not only shift daily life, but also alter the energy field of the entire household. Third, you may feel mentally uneasy. You sleep poorly, your mind keeps racing, and your emotions feel heavy, as if you are about to enter a different chapter in life. That feeling is not random. It is your body sensing the energetic shift taking place. When these three signs appear, the most important thing is to purify your energy, to release the old and make room for the new. The ancients did this with simple but powerful actions: cleaning and reorganizing the home, throwing away broken or unused items, because old, damaged objects are believed to store stagnant energy. Lighting incense at the family altar to connect with your roots and ask for guidance, or placing a bowl of water near the window to welcome in light and fresh energy from nature. These small actions have the power to clear the path and help you step into the new cycle with peace and clarity. It is worth noting that many people, especially after the age of 50, if they are mindful of these energy rhythms, find each new cycle brings greater stability and abundance. By this age, they have endured life's trials, and blessings have begun to accumulate. All that is left is to open the right door at the right time, and fortune will continue to flow like an endless stream. But the opposite can also happen. There are cases where a wealthy family begins to fall apart around age 56. The head of the household suddenly becomes ill, children start to argue, and the business begins to fail. Later, after consulting a Feng Shui master, they discovered that for years, their main altar was placed directly across from the bathroom, blocking the flow of positive energy and allowing bad energy to build up. And right when the new 7-year cycle began, all the negative energy exploded at once. This is the mystery of the 7-year cycle. If you know how to release bad energy and hold on to good fortune, the older you get, the more prosperous you become. But just one small mistake, and as you age, your energy will become heavier and harder to carry. That leads to an important question. Beyond your personal 7-year cycle, is there another factor that can influence the energy flow of your entire family, causing your descendants to either thrive or suffer together? The answer lies in the first Feng Shui secret, the vital energy of the home. A house that becomes more prosperous the longer you live in it. There is an old saying, when the living home thrives, those inside feel secure. When the ancestral tomb is in harmony, the whole family line flourishes. Once you understand the energy cycle and realize your home holds your life energy, it is time to unlock the first secret, turning your house into a wellspring of blessings. In Feng Shui, the living home, or yang residence, is where energy flows and gathers. If the ancestral tomb is the root, the home is the trunk, branches, and fruit. A house filled with vibrant energy brings harmony and growing fortune. But a house with blocked energy slowly drains luck, no matter the effort. How can you tell? A home with good energy is obvious. Plants grow well, the air feels fresh, the space is bright and clean. Elders stay healthy, Kids are respectful, and peace is the norm. These homes are like fresh streams that nourish everyone living there. In contrast, blocked homes feel heavy. People often feel tired, have restless sleep, and argue more. Children may struggle in school. Adults feel anxious, and nothing seems to go right. These are signs of stuck energy, disrupting daily life. Surprisingly, even small details matter. A blocked front door, a dark hallway, or an altar near a damp spot can trap energy. When energy stops flowing, health, wealth, and relationships start to suffer. To restore energy flow, ancient masters used simple but powerful steps. First, open your windows each morning. Let sunlight and fresh air in to clear out stale energy and invite new life. A sunlit room feels completely different from one that's dark and stuffy. Second, keep the entrance clean. The front door is the mouth of energy, where blessings enter. If it's cluttered or blocked, good energy stays out. Just sweeping and tidying can shift the entire mood of a home. You can also use a few Feng Shui tools. A bowl of sea salt in the kitchen absorbs negative energy. A crystal ball in the sunlight spreads vibrant energy across the room. A small round mirror in the right spot reflects light and keeps energy moving freely. These actions may seem small, but they are like gentle streams that flow silently each day, cleansing the energy and refreshing the living space. When the home's energy flow is clear and open, the people living there will feel healthier, more mentally clear, and life itself begins to run more smoothly. There is a story about a family who struggled for years. Their business kept failing, and the elders were constantly ill. After following the advice of a Feng Shui master, they began to clean up their entrance, open the windows each morning, and hang a crystal ball in the living room. In just a short time, the entire atmosphere of the home shifted. The mother regained her health, the couple grew closer, and their business started to recover. Many people called it coincidence, but the family believed the house had finally begun to breathe again. And with that, their destiny began to change. When a house is cared for properly, it becomes a source of blessings that can be passed down through generations. It is like a fresh, pure stream that nourishes the family's health, wealth, and peace of mind day and night. But here's a truth few people realize. Even if your current home is full of positive energy, if your ancestors' burial site, known as the yin residence, is disturbed, the overall fortune of the family can still be shaken. There is an old saying, a home needs roots, and a person needs a lineage. The yin residence is that root. Some families have lived in poverty for generations, but once their ancestors were buried in a piece of land with the right energy, the entire family's fate began to turn around. One story tells of a farming family who lived in poverty for years. The father worked non-stop, but barely fed the family. The mother was often ill, and the children moved away with little success. When the grandfather passed, they buried him on a high, dry hill, with rice fields in front, a hill behind, and a gentle stream nearby. Just a few years later, their fortunes shifted. The eldest son was promoted, the youngest daughter married well, and the grandchildren excelled. Villagers took notice, and Feng Shui masters agreed. The burial site aligned with strong energy, allowing ancestral blessings to flow to the family. In Feng Shui, the yin residence connects the living and the dead, while the yang residence supports daily life. The yin residence shapes long-term destiny. A well-chosen burial site, bright, open, and located at a meeting point of energy lines, acts like a strong root, feeding the entire tree. The ancients called this yin nurtures, yang prospers. When the roots rest peacefully, the branches can flourish. Good yin energy also shows through clear signs. After a proper burial, families often feel lighter, sleep better, and notice improved work and study. But a burial site that is damp, gloomy, or stagnant brings trouble. Elders fall ill, conflicts grow, and life becomes difficult. That is why, in ancient times, choosing a gravesite was a major decision. Ideal land usually has 3 key features: open space or water in front, a hill behind for support, and balanced sides. Even without perfect land, keeping the grave clean and well-tended matters. A gravesite that is regularly visited, free of weeds, and kept with burning incense helps maintain the flow of blessings and prevents fortune from fading. One businessman, burdened by years of debt, buried his mother on a gently sloped hill overlooking a clear lake, surrounded by green trees. Strangely, soon after, his business turned around. Customers returned, partners renewed ties, and wealth began to flow. Until his final days, he told his family, "It was not just my effort. Our ancestors are watching over us because they now rest in a place of good energy." The yin residence is not just a grave. It is an invisible thread that shapes your fate. Every incense stick lit, every weed cleared, strengthens the bond, helping blessings continue to flow to the next generation. But a tree, no matter how strong its roots, will struggle to bloom if its trunk is hollow or its branches are dry and withered. The yin residence is the root, the yang residence is the trunk. But for the tree of life to truly flourish, one more factor is needed: the marriages of your descendants. This is the third source of energy, one that can either open the door to great fortune or collapse generations of accumulated blessings. There is a tale of a family that had enjoyed wealth and harmony for 3 generations. But by the 4th, things began to fall apart. When people investigated, they found that the decline did not begin with a failed harvest or war, but with a marriage. The eldest son fell in love with a woman from a family known for constant conflict. Her ancestors' graves were neglected, her home was chaotic, and her family energy was unstable. From the day she married into the household, things began to unravel. The business declined, the siblings began to fight, and the parents fell into illness. This was not just coincidence. It was the result of 2 conflicting energy fields colliding. In Feng Shui, marriage is seen as the merging of 2 energetic fields. When someone marries, they bring not only their emotions and responsibilities, but also the energy of their family. If that energy is pure, with a tidy home, respected ancestors, and harmony among relatives, it is like clean water flowing into a great river, enriching the household. But if the energy is chaotic, with conflict, neglected graves, and negative emotion, it is like muddy water mixing into something pure, turning the whole stream murky. That is why, in the past, parents were so particular about choosing a son-in-law or daughter-in-law. This was not about superstition or control. It was based on deep life experience and intuition. One shared meal, a single glance, or a brief visit to the other family's home was often enough to sense their energy. And, strangely enough, marriages that received the full blessing of both families often turned out to be the most peaceful and lasting, because the parents had already sensed the harmony between the 2 energy streams. Another story tells of a businessman who had suffered for years, drowning in debt and loss. But after his son married a well-mannered woman from a harmonious family, Living on a piece of land rich in energy, everything changed. Business improved overnight. Customers returned, partners came knocking, and wealth flowed back in. Outsiders called it luck, but those who understood Feng Shui knew. It was the power of a new energy stream joining the family and activating a cycle of good fortune. On the other hand, there are families that were once peaceful and stable, but after a daughter married, troubles began to arise. The father fell ill, the siblings became divided, and the family business declined. Later, it was discovered that the husband's family had lived for years in discord, and their ancestors' graves had long been neglected. That chaotic energy followed the daughter into her parents' home, affecting both families. These stories reveal a powerful truth. Marriage is not just an individual destiny. It is the merging of two blessings, two energy streams, and two family lineages. A harmonious marriage is like two flames coming together to form a brighter light that illuminates the entire family line. But marrying the wrong person is like pouring cold water on a rising fire, extinguishing its glow and leaving the household to wither. This is why the role of parents is so important. Not to impose choices, but to guide with intuition and experience. Sometimes a single nod of approval from a parent is more meaningful than any promises, because it comes from a deep understanding of energy and fate. And when children marry the right partners, their prosperity becomes the family's prosperity. In turn, the parents enjoy a peaceful old age, good health, and a mind at ease. Even when all three pillars of Feng Shui are strong, a family's energy can still decline if the head of the household does not know how to nourish it. This is an essential point that is often overlooked. The ancients used to say, "A good house is not as powerful as a good heart. Fertile land is not as powerful as virtuous people." Because the true living Feng Shui is the person themselves, the living source of energy that determines the rise or fall of the entire household. An elder who keeps a calm heart, a clear mind, lives kindly and with virtue, not only stays healthy, but also radiates positive energy to the younger generations, making the family stronger and its blessings last longer. In reality, having even one wise grandfather or one compassionate grandmother in the household creates a warm field of energy around the entire family. Children naturally become respectful and harmonious, and external matters seem to flow more smoothly. On the other hand, if an elder lives in resentment, constantly complaining, and keeps their mind restless, the entire home becomes affected. The atmosphere turns heavy, conflicts arise more easily, and both work and health become harder to maintain. The precious thing is that personal energy is not fixed. It can be nurtured and strengthened day by day. No complicated rituals are needed. Through simple, consistent practices, people can refresh their own energy. In the early morning, take a few minutes to sit quietly. Inhale deeply and exhale slowly. Each breath is like a flowing stream, washing away tiredness and bringing clarity to the mind. When breathing becomes steady, blood circulates more freely, the heart grows calm, and the spirit feels at peace. Just this small habit can open an entire day filled with vitality. Similarly, spending an hour reading gentle, uplifting books or reflecting quietly on wise words nourishes the mind and orients the heart toward goodness. Those peaceful lines of text are like a cool breeze, helping you maintain clarity, preventing frustration or anger from clouding your spirit. Even caring for a few green plants in your home is a way to plant more life energy. Watching new sprouts rise and leaves fill with vitality gives you energy as well. Plants do not only beautify a space, they mirror liveliness itself and remind us that life force is always present around us. And whenever you step outside, walking leisurely under the morning sun or in the gentle breeze of sunset, you are directly absorbing fresh energy from the sky. Each step on the earth reconnects you with nature, restoring your body, opening your mind, and strengthening your spirit. These simple habits, if practiced consistently, become an invisible shield of protection. A person who maintains a bright, pure energy is like a warm lamp, casting light for the entire family. And when that lamp remains shining, the home will always be filled with peace, blessings, and prosperity. By now, you have probably realized an important truth. Feng Shui is not only about land, houses, or things you can see and touch. It is also hidden in how we live, how we care for ourselves, and how we nurture our energy each day. When all these elements are harmonized, they create a continuous stream of blessings, guiding us steadily and peacefully through every stage of life. Old age, therefore, is not an endpoint, nor is it a burden. It can be the most radiant chapter, the time when everything planted throughout life begins to bear fruit, bringing serenity to oneself and blessings to one's descendants. The miracle is that as long as we are mindful of protecting and nourishing our energy, opportunities for good fortune can open at any age. And now, before we close this story, quietly repeat to yourself a positive affirmation to nurture this flow of good energy. My life is becoming more peaceful each day, and blessings are flowing throughout my family. If you find these timeless principles meaningful, do not forget to share your thoughts in the comments and subscribe to the channel to join us on the next journey. There are still many Feng Shui secrets waiting to be revealed, and perhaps one of them will be the very key that transforms your family's destiny.